I'm Nabi Bhat, Additional Secretary School Education, JNP, YouTube. So I'll be delivering a lecture on social and behavioral change. Before I talk about it, I want to show you some pictures which you have already seen last time. I hope you remember these pictures. This is 4-scale, I'll not call it questions, 4-scale solution. What happens after finding a solution to this problem was that abruptly, all of us, we were set in a mood, our brains were thinking in a particular fashion, and we tried to find out the solution in that particular way. But none of us actually went into the question itself, where there was a word, the last word that was used in that was in equal pieces, not parts. There we made not a mistake, but it was the brain that was processed in that fashion. So the point is that bringing about any change, behavioral or social, is not an abrupt thing, it's a gradual process. And I want to quote here Abraham Lincoln, who famously said that if I had to cut a tree in 6 hours, I would spend first 4 hours sharpening my axe. This is very interesting. When I say this, I want to convey this thing. If we want to bring about a change in the behavior of people, other than cultural, religious behaviors, because they are very different change. But if we want to bring about a change which is good for them, which we think is good for them, or which after reading literature or doing courses like this, we realize that these things should be incorporated. So what we have to do is, we have to basically do a survey of that area, the understanding of the people, their economic status, their educational status, and it's at what level that it would be easy to make them understand the problem. Suppose, as an additional secretary, I am talking to a student of 6th class, and I am giving him a lecture which goes over his head. I mean, it's not going to have any results. But what is actually going to have results is to come down to his level, listen to him, without telling him that I want this kind of a change in your behavior. I'm just pushing him towards that change. It would be a painful, a long task, but that would be the task that will stick with us. In this example of social behavior, you must have seen those fishnets. It's not easy when you are making a change. For example, if you want to change polythene, we don't have a material which will replace the polythenes. So you are actually dependent on it. Now if you are replacing polythenes with something, you have to actually make this into the habit of the people. So you have to create some sort of attachment to that one good. What has happened and what is happening is this, that people who are living in flood prone areas, in cyclone hit areas, we want to change their behavior to save their life. So we have to make them understand these things that I am trying to propagate with this transparent intention that you will be helped. I am trying to bring that thing into you. And I will work with you, with your local knowledge that you have, the understanding of the environment that you have, and we will try and bring those solutions into effect. By giving them a chance, by understanding their needs and desires, and the way they want to approach a problem, we will be able to find out the solution to that problem. And one more thing that I have seen in our part when we are trying to bring about a change, we don't follow it. I'll give a simple example. Suppose your kid is not doing good in maths. Since I'm from the educational background, he's not doing good with the maths. Now you have analyzed the problem and you have found out a solution. That persistent follow-up of that problem, solution, will make him change his behavior. And it is this persistent follow-up that will finally bring about that change. If you drop it, if you give them a chance, you tell them this is what we should do, but you don't follow it up, the change will not come. Change is always a painful thing, but if it's for the good, we have to stand with that painful thing for some time before it gets incorporated into your day-to-day working. Historically, in our part of the world, people say that it's a 40-day cycle. If you really want to bring about a change, whether it's a student, a society, it's a 40 40-day challenge that you have to stick to that plan. Suppose if at an individual level, if you want that these people should take, say, to beekeeping, we are giving them all the benefits. We are giving them the beekeeping kits and everything. But there would be a season when these bees will die and we will not have anything to fall back upon. It's at those points of time when your need would be the most needed and most required. Before I finally call off my lecture, I want to ask you one simple thing. Do you really want to have a change in your life?
Yes.
This is a very interesting question. We need to ask it before finally settling for a change. Before I take leave from you, I would request you to ask any questions.
सर एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा आपसे जैसे कि सर आजकल जो एजुकेशन जैसे आप एजुकेशन के सेक्रेटरी हो सर तो आजकल जो एजुकेशन सिस्टम है अगर हम गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में जाएं तो हम प्राइमरी स्कूल में देखते हैं कि डे बाई डे एजुकेशन में कोई बच्चा जाना नहीं करता